All right, before I go to sleep, let's talk about Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson breaking up. Why am I not surprised? I'm not. Ladies, this is a cautionary tale that you opening your legs is not going to keep a man. You representing yourself promiscuous is not going to keep a man. You dressing like you in a godforsaken strip club somewhere. You getting on these social media platforms showing off everything. Let me tell you the walking contradiction of all this nonsense. It's getting you to buy products that's turn around and basically thrown back in your face. Let me give you an example. A woman could be independent when she meets a man and decides to be a stay-at-home mom. And years later, he gonna throw it back in your face and cheat on you with the same independent, self-sufficient women when he gets to where he is. There are women that have helped men to build their businesses, their brands, and their careers. And they will say, in the immortal words of Waiting to Exhale, I'm in love with a whole nother woman and I'm leaving you for that white woman. It's in the movie, by the way. It's just like men that decide they want to start dating outside their race. Sweetheart, let me tell you something. They're going to suck the life out of you. And then when they suck the life out of you and they have no use for you, after you build them to where other women all of a sudden now want them, that's what they're using you for. They're using you to basically make other women want them. I mean, Chris Brown said it, just got rich. Megan broke. These hoes ain't loyal. That's the whole point of all of this. Men get these nice cars, the nice cribs, they get all of that to sleep with women. These men do not care about what you do in the bedroom. They don't even pay attention. Let me be 100 with y'all as a 51-year-old woman that was a tomboy that sat around and listened to a bunch of men talk about sex. These men do not talk about anything you did. All they talked about is that you gave them head. You basically was wet or whatever you want to call it. That's all they said. They devoured and they conquered. Do you not know that's why they go to war? Divide and conquer. That is what men do. And y'all ain't figured it out by now. If you look at the way these men lead, it's divide and conquer. After they conquer you, they have no use for you. After they suck the life out of you and take all your godforsaken resources, they gone. That is what they do. They lower you just to basically prove that they can. Ego, vanity. The devil's favorite sin. Vanity. That's why they do it. So like I said, they're going to suck the life out of your youth, stay with you for 20 years, and then tell you 20 years later, I don't want to be with you because you're too old. I don't want to be with you because you don't work. You do nothing. They act like having kids and raising kids is easy. It ain't until they actually go through it that they understand. But see, that's the thing. You can't lower yourself for a man. Megan has never cooked for a man and his family the way she did for Klay. I ain't gonna lie, she changed. I give her that. But the problem is the way she dressed didn't change. That's the problem. She didn't dress like a woman that wanted to be a wife, promiscuous. When you're running around dressing like you're part of a sex industry instead of dressing like you are a wife, like you want to be a wife, then that's a whole other thing. Because being a wife, you are not in public showing off your body unless you are with your man. You are modest. You are sophisticated, you are classy, and you are grown. Now, don't get me wrong. A man that really is a man does not have a problem with you having a business, does not have a problem with you having a brand because he's not intimidated by it. You're his helpmate. And if anything, you making more money is going to push him to want to make more money. Them ain't the men y'all are dealing with. You are dealing with men that are godforsaken mama's boys. The only woman they're going to listen to is their mother. Prime example, Christopher Maurice Brown got 3 baby mamas and maybe one that's about to be born soon. Maybe. Allegedly. He ain't with none of these baby mamas. But none of these baby mamas has moved on except Diamond. Diamond and Nia are the only ones that have actually moved on. And he mad about it. Love you, Christopher Maurice Brown, but I'm just saying. So at the end of the day, these dudes, yes, they will get you pregnant. Yes, they will move in with you. Yes, they will give you whatever they want. But you will never get all of them. Why? Because they are always looking for something different. They are always looking for something new. You can be with them for years and still look vibrant, still look good, temporarily gained a couple pounds because you had a baby. They're throwing it in your face. You lost your job. You lazy. You're irresponsible. They're abusing you. They're putting their hands on you. The problem is not even Cardi B, not even Beyonce could stop Jay-Z and Offset from cheating. We all know that Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce. He admitted to it. He cheated on Beyonce. Janet Jackson got cheated on. Tiana Taylor got cheated on by Iman. Come on now. He dating Delicia now. Come on now. If these beautiful, drop dead, gorgeous women have gotten cheated on, that right there tell you beauty does not keep a man. Doing threesomes with other women doesn't keep a man. You having sex in front of your husband while he's watching is not going to keep a man. You getting into the porn industry and letting your husband pimp you out is not going to keep your husband. You lowering yourself to build him up because you want to be Captain Save a Hole, build a bears, build a doll, seat fillers, and people pleasers is not going to keep that man. It ain't. There's nothing you can do to keep a man because you can't. The only thing you can do is pray to God that he going to do right by you. It's in God's hands. That's about it. Now, mind you, there are some phenomenal men out here. But like I said, I knew this was not going to last because the way that Meg Thee Stallion represents herself is like a harlot, Jezebel, succubus, and a siren. And these men, yes, it is nice to look at. But if you're not with that man and you out here dressing like that, that's a problem. You should not be dressing like that for the whole world to see what your man sees when he takes off your clothes. See, that's the thing. The minute that another man sees what your husband sees behind closed doors, you are a 304. It don't matter if it's your job. Why do you think so many men have an issue with their girl being models and in the industry? Why do you think the men that don't care are the ones benefiting from it? They're making money off their girl. There is no man that's a godly man that will never want you to be on social media showing off everything. They don't mind you taking pictures, but they do not want you showing yourself in a bathing suit. That is for his eyes only. And matter of fact, he gonna want you covered up. Why? Because the only time he gonna want you to wear that bikini is when you are alone with him and y'all in a godforsaken jacuzzi. He is not gonna want you wearing something you're not covered up. He gonna want you to wear a cover up. Because either the bottom got to be covered or the top got to be covered, if not both. So don't get me wrong. If you with your man, that is fine. But the last thing that man wants is little pig, let me in. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. Little pig, let me in. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. I'm going to huff and puff and blow your house down. The last thing that these men want, which is a walking contradiction, is another man looking at their wives. Another man desiring their wives. Even though in the beginning, yes, to be able to get one of the baddest chicks in the game, oh yeah, it's cool then until he starts dating you. Until he marries you. That's when it becomes a problem. So no, they weren't going to work because as far as his brand is concerned, Klay is a clean-cut type of dude. So the type of female he needs is a clean-cut type of female. Not Meg Thee Stallion. Yeah, she was good enough to sleep with. She was good enough to date. She was good enough to hang out with. But she ain't going to be marriage superior. And he would not be the only one who feels that way. There going to be a lot of my men in the comments going to say they agree. So I hope you ladies learn something from this. Stop being promiscuous.